Different baseball team.
Good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday, April 21st. Welcome to the budget adoption regular meeting of the Tuxedo Union Free School District for this Tuesday, April 21st, 2026. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everybody. Can we please do the roll call, Madam Clerk?
Barry Hefner.
Here.
Susan Mitchell.
Here.
Bonnie Takeuchi.
Here.
William Clark.
Here.
Robin Rosegrave. Here. Chris Scanlon.
Here.
Jean-Michel Teaserino.
Here.
Katie Donnelly.
All right, great. 1.4, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Could I request a minor change?
Yeah, but we can do it later, too.
Sure.
What
I'll
is-
just
what-
put it in your head right now. How's that?
What?
The folks at BOCES are anxious to get all their votes from the various component districts. If we could move that up into the in the agenda, that would they'd
Like maybe
appreciate
like now as opposed to,
Need it before 9.
okay. So the motion carries. Do I have a motion to move the BOCES budget item to the next item?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so let's move that. That is,
It's like to operate under duress.
Where was-
5.6 and 5.7. Okay.
okay.
And what everybody remembers the BOCES budget was down this year, so that's appreciated.
Yep. And this was sent out to everybody, it was sent out to the public when the agenda went out. There's two different resolutions. One is approval of the BOCES resolution for supplies and equipment for the next school year, and one is for the administrative budget. Any questions on what we're doing in moving this forward, or what these items are that were provided previously? So do I have a single motion to approve?
Can you just briefly say what they were? Sorry, as I look.
5.6 is the BOCES resolution for their budget of supplies and equipment for the next school year.
And what does that mean again?
It's basically the administrative budget and the capital budget for BOCES. We're component members of the BOCES. It's like a joint venture. So we buy the services individually, we pay for those individually, but the component districts are responsible for the administration and the capital portions of their budget. So that's what these two things represent.
This is our contribution to BOCES.
Yes.
Yes. Based on pupils and services, et cetera. It's not
We're
flat.
voting on their budget the way
Yeah.
people are going to vote on ours.
Any other questions? Did we get a motion in second or not?
We did
Okay, so for both items, do I have a single motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any further questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Now, to get back to the exciting stuff, back on track, the thing everybody came for. Walter, if you're ready, we'll have the budget presentation for 2026 to 2027. These lights?
Okay, good evening, everyone. Today we're going to be looking at the budget adoption. Before we begin, we'll go over some key dates. So May 6th, we do have the public budget hearing, and then May 19th is the annual budget vote and election of Board of Ed. So proposition number 1, the adopted budget. So the adopted budget here has our expenditures of $15,805,877. That is an estimated tax rate increase in Tuxedo of 2.94%. Tax rate increase in Warwick of 6.63%. Our revenues are as follows.
Walter, can you explain why we're taxing Warwick triple, what we're taxing Tuxedo?
It's based off of the equalization rate and the total assessed value that Warwick has, and we divide it out between the two towns. The equalization rate is set by the Office of Real Property Tax Services, right?
Yes.
Has nothing to do with us, it's a state agency.
Correct.
But are they really paying 3 times of the increase of what we're paying? It's just really on paper,
Yeah, that equalization rate should equal those.
in real dollars.
Yeah, in real
So I
dollars.
wanted to make sure that was clear.
So state aid of $1,097,313. The appropriation of fund balance is $380,000. Other revenues is $640,013. School tax levy, $13,688,551. So total revenues and other sources, we have $15,805,877. So this is a tax levy increase of $992,102, or 7.81%. The spending increase is $709,123, 4.7%. So averaged over the last 2 years, if you look over there on the right, the 2-year average for this is $946,051, 3.91% for the tax levy increase, and for the spending increase, $354,562, 2.35%.
And as we mentioned, the budget is always a fluid process. We just became aware this afternoon that we have another a potential special ed student who might need a monitor on a bus. It will be for this year, but we can't say for 100% sure it'll be for September. We're looking at all the other options, but I'm just giving you a heads up about that.
The next thing is the proposition number 2. This is the 5-year transportation contract. As it reads, shall the Board of Education of the Tuxedo Preschool District enter into a 5-year transportation contract with First Student Incorporated, the amount of $8,099,456 for the period of July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2031. And this is for home to school, summer school, and field trips and sport trips. So that is the total estimated cost that it would be through the entire 5 years.
This number seems very high. Is it consistent with what other districts are doing?
The number is based off of what our current transportation is now, carried into next year, assuming that we're going to have the same number of bus runs, same number for summer school, and then kind of the same estimates for field and sports trips, and then that's based off of the contract through the 5 years.
Which was bid out, and other districts are recognizing significant increases in transportation as we are.
So this is, it's expensive, but it's something that everybody's facing.
Another marketplace.
I don't think it's expensive. It's below the market rate. This, for us, this is not expensive. This is inexpensive because we negotiated the price down below the market rate. So it's actually a good deal.
Well, it had been, it had been below market.
Number, but a good deal.
It had been below market rate for many, many years, and this is kind of, the bus company is bringing us up to market, but we did have a savings this year of $336,000 because the contract was negotiated.
So tax rate impact, these are estimated impacts. So the adopted budget for this year, you'll see there with Tuxedo and Warwick. Tuxedo had a tax rate of 80.28, Warwick 108.09. The proposed or adopted budget would bring it up to 82.64 for Tuxedo and Warwick 115.26. Dollar amount change there is $2.36 for Tuxedo. Warwick is $7.17. So the percent change there, as on the previous slide, 2.94%, 6.63%.
I have one quick question. I don't want to get lost in the weeds here because maybe we'll answer it afterward. But this is based on homes in Tuxedo, correct?
Yeah, any homes that they're
That
collecting.
are in the Warwick School District, correct?
No.
No.
This is
No.
Warwick town households that are in the border of the Tuxedo School
Right.
District.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So who would assess these houses? Or these properties?
So there's an assessor in Tuxedo and an assessor in Warwick.
In Warwick?
Yeah.
Okay,
And we're in contact with both of them.
with both of them?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just curious how they get the original assessment to come up with these numbers. So, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What is the value of an average assessed home? Do you know that? I mean, I see that you have that statistic, but what is that actually in numbers?
I think we gotta go with the town assessor for that. That's,
Okay.
it's, every place is,
Different, yeah.
Right, I just didn't know if we knew what the average assessed home was, because it's looking like here, the average assessed home, whatever dollar amount that is, will be paying an additional $232 under the proposed budget. Is that, am I reading this chart correctly?
yes, but that is also over a 2-year period. So the average increase over the last 2 years is $116, but there was no increase last year.
Right,
So
but
the average home is going to pay $232 more, but they didn't pay any last year. So
Last year.
over a 2-year period, it's,
the $232 increase is 63 cents a day approximately increase?
well, unless you go for the 2-year.
Yeah, unless you go for 2 years,
Then
but
it's
if you're
30
just
cents a
taking,
day.
yes, it's 30 to 60 cents per day is the tax increase that we're.
Based on the average home.
Based on the average.
Whatever that value is. So that would be a nice number to know is really what is the average assessed home value.
The average assessed or the average fair value?
The average,
The average assessed value in Tuxedo is about $98,000. But we have to remember something, the assessed value.
right, is based on fair value.
Correct. They have a factor they call an LOA, or level of assessment. So, that determines they take the fair value, apply this level of assessment, and then they come up with an assessed value. So for Tuxedo, it's about $99,000 assessed value. And Warwick is approximately,
It's a little lower, which is why their rate is higher.
right, about 70,000.
And then these calculations are based off, they could change a little bit based on assessment roll or a change in the equalization rates. On the next slide, so this is just looking at, what have our tax rates been through the years compared to even what CPI looks like. So if you look at 2020, 2021, the tax rate there was approximately 76.89. And then today, or this year, we have 80.28. So through those years, you'll see that in the middle column, that is the percent difference, and that's just based off of the tax rate. So you'll see there between 2021 to 2022, there was a decrease there of 0.99%, increase 0.6. There was an increase of 3.51, an increase of 1.89, and then this year there was a decrease in the tax rate of 0.6. And then just looking at the far right column, there's a comparison to what the CPI has been, the Consumer Price Index, through those years as well.
Walter, that column to the right, the Consumer Price Index, that's regionally speaking here for, what encompasses the geographically the
The
CPI?
state website
Perfect,
for the
okay.
different property tax values through those years. So that's where I pulled that from. So it's kind of the state's yearly CPI data that they get.
Okay, so down here, we might be running a little bit more, so to speak, because we're closer to New York City versus, say, Rochester or something else. I'm great, it's great to have the CPI number, because, when we look back over our, tax rate increases, it really gives you something to benchmark off of. When we've gone and gotten, 1.5% tax increase, and you're looking at the CPI having been 4.7% for that year, I mean, that's a significant difference.
Yeah.
So it
adds
puts,
up over time.
it adds up over time, and it puts the district behind.
Well, if you look at the CPI versus the percentage difference, the last two columns, really the last 5 years, in terms of real dollars out of someone's pocket versus the CPI, taxes have gone down for the last 5 years.
Compared to the CPI.
Yes.
Yeah, and the 23.63% doesn't intake a slight compounding effect how CPI works.
Walter, do you have any other percentage differences for other schools in the area?
I do not at this time.
What would you say off the top of your head? Where would the number be? Further north, greater than 4, or less than 4?
It depends what school district I would look at. I'd like an an
If you were to
accurate
take a
answer.
guess,
Well, we've seen a bunch of data of other districts on other numbers.
it's much
So
higher.
clearly, they were at or near the CPI index every year. So I mean, we've had other charts and other presentations with Suffern, Monroe, Woodbury, and I forget the other, was it Florida? I forget, but we've had information. And all those schools had 3s or 4s every year, on average compared to the CPI.
I'll have that for the next one.
Just curious.
Yeah, no, I'll get that.
It's just for comparison purposes, it would be good to know.
How do we get people to understand that they've gotten, in relative comparison to the CPI, a tax increase for 5 years? I'm sorry, a tax decrease for the prior 5 years, and this year we're still asking under the CPI? Any ideas how to reach out to the public on that? Or what, for, the question for you might be, what other numbers portray how starking these numbers are to us?
Yeah, we can look at, if we want to look at other districts, just to compare to see on how they have increased their tax rates through the years. Maybe do a comparable of some.
Just the
local
last 5 years.
districts.
What's
Neighbors for the last 5
easy
years.
for you? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I could probably do that. I can definitely get the numbers for Orange County.
If we could, that'd be great. Just
Yeah,
get us.
fairly easy. Yeah, like, the whole idea is, like, I understand how much duress you're under. You know, I know there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, but,
I can
You
make
know-
a slide for this at the next presentation.
Thank you.
okay.
I'll put a couple on.
Can you
there.
not wait when you get that, send that to us? Because as we talk to people, I like to have that information in my
Yeah.
pocket.
Okay.
All right. We'll talk further, but thank you. Like I said, we're just trying to
No, if it works.
make it
Nope.
as easy as possible on you.
And then just kind of comparing where we were and where we got to. So the one on the left, this was our draft budget. This was the kind of our cost to continue budget here, with the presentations that we did on the expenditure budgets. That one did have, that draft budget, the CPI budget, did have a tax rate at the time of 9.45%. So the adopted budget, which is the one on the right, so which has a tax rate of 2.94%, and we did have some key changes with this, right? So we had an increase in revenue for that, a decrease in appropriation fund balance, and then a decrease in tax levy from the draft to the adopted budget.
What's the difference between the, you have two fund balances here, one the orange, one the blue? The blue for
Oh, I'm
640.
sorry, yeah, I'll make that change. So the fund balance should be the one in the yellow. The one in the blue should be other revenue. I apologize, I'll get that changed. So the one in the blue is the other revenue.
So just mislabeled, but
The numbers are correct. Yeah, everything, the ratios are correct, the numbers are correct. It's just that the box for the blue should read other
Other revenue.
Yes.
Got it.
Then is there any question?
Any questions from the board?
No, all good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Walter.
Thanks, Walter.
Lights, please, Dante. Ready?
Sure.
Mr. White, superintendent's report, please.
Well, we've had quite a bit of meetings as of late, and I want to thank everybody for their participation in the budget process, the administrators, the faculty, the staff. I think we have arrived at a good budget, and I especially, Mr. Walter Kaufman, his first budget season has done a yeoman's job. Thank you, Walter. And our principals also, thank them for their many, many hours and efforts. They did a great job as well, so thank you. And to the faculty as well. And staff. And with that, I'm pretty talked out from the last, I can't remember how many meetings we've had, so I'm going to yield the floor to our principals to give us an update. Then ready. I'll fix that.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for having us. We'll keep this brief. To echo Jeff's message, there's been a lot of work done in a short time here. And we're going to talk a little bit about our testing dates as our update for this evening. But before I do see several of our students here in attendance, and I just want to highlight, we've seen them at the last several meetings. And we're just really proud of them as they've been able to speak to you as a board and to our community about the really tough decisions that you've had to make, and they've done just such a fantastic job, the students that have been able to speak, and of course always Kaylee as the ex officio, but advocacy, civics, communication, and community, and they've represented all of those things very well, and we're just really proud of them. So I wanted to acknowledge our student body and thank them for their efforts there, and I know that was helpful to you in your discussions. So. With that, our most important thing here on the docket is our ELA testing began today. Our ELA tests are grades 3 through 8 in today and tomorrow. That's a 2-day test. Our math is on May 5th and 6th. Our science is on May 12th. And of course at GFB, we will kick off our AP exams. Testing season is well underway, and those dates are the 4th through the 14th. And of course, our New York State Regents exams will be in June. So that's the academic focus at the moment in both GFB and GGM. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. One of the requests was to do an analysis of whether we should combine the buildings in the short term. And our architect firm came and we did a bit of work on it. There's still more work to be done, but they've done a report, which I'm going to be sharing with the board, and we'll probably be putting a budget FAQ on the website. We'll probably put a link to this report as well. And they recommend against it for right now for various reasons, which I won't go into tonight. We'll do that at a future meeting, and like I said, I'll put that on the FAQ when we do that on the website.
Well, thank you, Jeff, for undertaking that process. I know that was in response to community concerns, and it's important if you have a concern or an idea, please share it, because then we can explore it, and people might have ideas that we haven't thought of, and then we can run down the answers for you and present them in a lovely letter, which will be linked to on the website.
Back to you.
All right. Committee reports. I know we've been busy with a few other items. Does anybody have?
Oh, I'm sorry. Kaylee, how could we forget you? The most important part of the night.
1 second.
Take your time.
Yeah, at the last board meeting on Friday, I mentioned that I was putting together a survey, and I got it wonderfully approved by our superintendent and principal. So I do have some results for you guys that I'd just like to share real quick. I noticed that extracurriculars being cut was something that concerned a lot of students, so I sent out this survey today, and I already got quite a few responses, and I'll have some more responses for you guys at the following meetings as well. In the responses I received so far, the students have indicated participation in a wide range of activities, from art club to jazz band and to what I believe is all of our sports so far. For any specific stories that I share, I have received consent from the students to share them here. A few students provided similar feedback regarding sports such as soccer, basketball, and baseball, that it has helped them be more active and get out of their houses more when they may have not been previously. And it has also helped them connect with many other students. Our arts extracurriculars, such as art club and jazz band, have helped students connect better with others, find their place in the community when struggling to, and have overall felt extremely supported by their instructors that have helped them to realize their potential in an artistic field. Many students emphasize the important role that our music program as a whole has held in their time here, showcasing talented, driven students that are extremely passionate about their program. As for our leadership initiatives, including Student Council, Interact Club, and NHS, they have helped provide students with the opportunity to serve their community in many different ways, including volunteering with the local promenade and school-supported events like local garage sales and the back-to-school carnival. These activities have taught students of all grades leadership skills, the importance of giving back to their community, and helping to provide them with unique opportunities that otherwise they would not have. They also help to give students volunteer opportunities that they wouldn't have otherwise, and these help with college and professional applications as well. I would also like to mention that the Tuxedo Union Free School District has just been awarded the Best Communities for Music Education Award. This is a brief description of what the award entails. The award recognizes and celebrates outstanding efforts by teachers, administrators, parents, students, and community leaders who have made music education a part of a well-rounded education. Designations are made to districts that demonstrate an exceptionally high commitment to and access to music education. It is only because of exceptional commitment from our entire community that we were able to receive this recognition. Congratulations to our music program, and a shout out to Mr. Johnson and Mr. Chan for leading our music program to another year of this recognition. These survey results were from many students of many different grades, and I would just like to emphasize that this is just from their hearts. They were not, made to respond to this survey. We just asked them to, if they have any impact and they want their voices heard, to just let me know. And we as a student body truly hope that you will take this into consideration, and we recognize that as the district makes cuts, we really hope that our program will be preserved for the next school year.
Can I ask you one question?
Of course.
You put that poll together and the report was pretty good. What are your, if you don't mind sharing, what are your personal opinions about those results? Do you think they fairly and accurately represent not just the student body, but your thoughts based on your experiences?
I think they do very much reflect like what I've noticed. I think I saw a lot of things that I thought myself, but I wanted to, have backup from other students as well, because I have felt, extremely touched by our music programs, and I've gotten so many helpful opportunities through our leadership initiatives. And I've personally done, art club back when I was a little kid in the elementary school. And I feel like from what I understood, we all kind of share the same ideas, that these are extremely beneficial to us. And in my time here, I've noticed basically the same things that our students have, minus the sports, because I'm not a very big sports person, but I know a lot of support for our sports has been a big part of many kids' time here as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin.
I also have a question. You said many kids participated. Did the elementary school kids participate at all? Or
I didn't get this sent out to the elementary kids yet, but I want to put together a different kind of form for it. This was an extremely open-ended form. I'm going to try and put together possibly a more condensed or easier to respond to and understand version for the little kids, because this is kind of like a big open-ended question. It can be kind of difficult to answer for some kids, but if I can work with Ms. Parkey and try and get something sent out to the little kids as well, I would love to do so.
So what grade did it cover all
This
the way?
covered 6 through 12. This
Perfect,
just
thank
got sent out today, but I'm still recording responses for the next few board meetings as well.
Yeah, I think it would be helpful, like you said, to word something in a way that little kids could be able to express themselves too. Because, as being the student ex officio board member, we want to make sure we represent all the students of the school. And, grades 3, 4, and 5, I'm sure have things to say.
I'm sure they do. But yeah, I'll do my best to get that sent out as soon as possible.
Thank you for all that, Kelly.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thanks. Committee reports. Committee reports, I'm not sure, again, you can hand in written reports at any time. Doesn't have to be on a meeting night. Are there any crazy super highlights that anybody wants to point out that would eventually be reflected in a written committee report?
The Wellness Committee did not meet this
fine.
period, and the Policy Committee did not meet also, but we do have an upcoming meeting scheduled for next week.
Tuesday,
On
28th.
Tuesday.
Everything's been on hold because of the budget, right?
Same for Student Success Committee. We overwhelmed with budget things, but we'll get back to track.
The Outreach Committee, and I'm putting the fireside chats kind of under that aegis, but we did conclude the 3 fireside chats, and to get feedback from the community and answer questions that they may have. Some were more successful than others, but I think it was a learning experience for those of us on the board, as well as for the people who were able to attend. The committee has reached out to the town to work together on creating some sort of a welcome basket for new residents. The goal is to engage and inform new residents about all of what's happening at the school, in the town, and local businesses. And work is ongoing in both buildings to make all of our spaces more inviting and in great shape for families who may wish to come for tours. Thank you.
I just wanted to say, we did get a lot of community participation, and specifically the Woodlands. I have to say, I'm, very impressed with the numbers that came out at the Woodlands, and I really appreciate their participation.
Anything else?
Yeah, the contingency budget's the same. We're
Okay, that's fine.
something's being put.
That was all expected.
I think the only thing I would add is that we did start up the volleyball program for grades 3 through 10. The participation rate in the grades 3 through 6 was about 12 to 15 every week. That's a 10-week program, so
Good.
that's
Healthy.
going pretty well. It's very healthy. So it's been a good program with the recreation department.
That's run through the town, right?
Yes. That's
But we assist and coordinate. Okay, Orange County School Board Association report, if any.
Yeah, so this meeting was all about the student ex officio members. So Kaylee, maybe you want to come back up? It was fantastic. A lot. I was there. Kaylee and I attended, as well as many other school districts in Orange County and their student representatives. And we got to hear from other students about what their experience is like. And I think it was pretty helpful to hear, since this is our first year, and some of them had been doing it for many years. I think Middletown had been they did it before it was even mandated.
Yeah.
So they shared a lot of their processes with us, and we started thinking about what maybe we would want to change. And one of the things we were talking about was maybe having two student members, a junior and a senior, because then the junior can learn from the senior and they can be partners and participate together, and then there would be like a carryover. What did you think of that?
I thought it was a great idea. I saw just like a lot of like helpful things from the districts that had that already implemented. Like you could see that you had juniors that were ready to take charge next year that had learned from their seniors as well, which I thought was really helpful. And I remember one of the groups, I believe was also from Middletown, they mentioned like how having two ex officio members allowed them to like do things more effectively. Like one of them was better at reaching out to students and one of them was better at like, analyzing things. Like having them as kind of like a team really helped put things together, as well as like, other schools like learned from each other. I think it was a really informative thing though, as this being our first year. And with
the
it being
cons-
on my own, it's like, I can definitely see how that would be very helpful for both ex officio members.
And with the crazy schedules, it was helpful for them, so they knew like if one had to go to a track meet or whatever, that the other one could cover a meeting. And it was nice to see the teamwork that they had together. They talked about doing surveys, and Kaylee picked right up on that and then started her own survey. A lot of the students did surveys for the districts. And we learned also the importance of going to all the schools, and including the little kids as well. So maybe at our next policy meeting, we might, maybe we could talk a little bit more and see if officially we want to change. Right now, I think our policy says one student, but we can word it so that it could be, a guide, but it doesn't have to be. If there's not a volunteer for it, we can say, then we'll have one, but it would be a nice model to have. So,
Good.
Thank
Any
you.
questions?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you again, Kim.
Thank you.
I want to deviate from the agenda. We have to, we knew this was coming, but we have to approve the adoption of the budget and approval of the property tax record card. So I'd like to pause and do that at this time. Do I have a motion to add that resolution to the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So the motion let me read it, and then somebody can move it. Motion to approve the adoption of the 2026, 2027 TUFSD budget, and motion to approve the property tax report card. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approves the 26-27 budget in the amount of $15,805,877 to be submitted to the qualified voters for a vote at the annual meeting, budget vote and election to be held on May 19, 2026. And be it further resolved that the Board of Education approve the school property tax report card for 26-27 in the format specified under Part 107.11 of the regulations of the Commissioner of Education, and authorizes such school property tax report card to be submitted to the Commissioner of Education in the manner required by law. Do I have a motion to approve that adoption of the budget and tax report card?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Questions, comments, anything? This is what we were working towards. We knew this was coming today. Everyone's on board? Both the resolution and the report card were in the, okay? So all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, thank you, everybody. It's getting back to the consent agenda. Anything to pull from the personnel? Couple approvals, bunch of resignations. Anybody have questions about anything in the fours?
No questions, Simon.
Go ahead.
One correction, I think we mean
What number?
shot clock.
What number?
I'm on 4.6.
Oh, stock clock?
Yeah, I don't,
I think it's a shot clock
it's a shot clock.
or stock clock. It could be, depending what kind of basketball you're playing.
Stop clock. I'll fix that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Is that the rate per event similar to 4.5? Because it says wage, not rate.
You may understand was per event, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll add that on.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
So this person is the coach and the chaperone?
No,
He's a separate person?
it was, this is retroactive. This is when he did basketball.
Okay, gotcha.
So we owe him money. Okay. Let's pay them.
Anything else? Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda personnel, all the 4 points?
Just one more question.
Yep, sure.
For 4.2, that is just a substitute. That's not an add-on. I just want to confirm that. It says substitute. I just want to confirm. It's not a budgetary issue.
Yeah,
that
that's
we-
right.
So if somebody's not available.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
A motion to approve the personnel consent agenda?
Second.
Any further questions or comments?
Will.
Second.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
No worries.
He's whispering over here. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Same question for consent agenda business. I would note we already did 5.6 and 5.7. So from 5.1 to 5.5, are there any questions or anything anybody wants pulled out? Mostly meeting minutes, enrollment reports,
Can you
one
explain what,
consultant contract,
yeah,
CSE recommendations, and the normal monthly reports.
can you explain what the Zycon Consultant Services contract is?
Agree. 5.5.
It was here, right?
Yes, Walter referenced it earlier in the budget. There was a revenue enhancement of $100,000. This is a Medicaid expert who can get us about $100,000 in revenue net of the fee. It's a performance contract, so if they don't find us any money, they don't get paid. If they do, then they get 15% of it. So it's a part of the revenue enhancement. The $100,000 would help us get the tax rate.
And it's a standard
Right.
thing that happens in many districts.
And this is, just so I understand, this is for children who receive services that are paid for in part or whole by Medicaid. We should be getting some money back from the government for those services, and this is a way to secure the money that we already should be receiving, but that can be difficult to pry out of their hands, and the consultant helps us pry it.
Yes, and the Medicaid laws are very detailed, very complex, and so it's just easier to bring an outside person who's got that level of expertise. District this size, actually most districts don't have somebody with this level of expertise, but particularly a district of our size. So it's very cost effective to do it in this fashion.
Is that number confirmed now? The 100,000?
Yeah.
It's confirmed? Okay. Thank you.
Anything else? Do I have a motion to approve in whole number 5 consent agenda business, noting that we've already done 5.6 and 5.7?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Public comment. Does anybody wish to speak on any topics relevant to anything on the agenda or otherwise today? Have we received any emails from the clamoring public?
Please hold. No emails.
Okay, so we're up to 7.1, discussion.
Well, I will say, Gary, that, because people watching this can't tell, but we have had good turnout at these meetings. Even if we don't have people coming up to the microphone, there are people who are engaged and who are listening. So just want people to know that there are people, the room is not empty. There are people here paying attention, and maybe you too can come join us.
And oftentimes, people don't come to the podium, but they still speak to one or more board members before the meeting, during a break, or after the meeting.
Yeah, I don't have any.
We're not even there yet, though.
Bonnie, did you want anything from an executive session? Did you want an executive session this evening? Well, it's on our agenda.
What's that?
The executive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have some of them?
I don't, jump in the gun. 7.1, anybody have
Everybody's anxious to go home with it.
I think everybody is.
past, present, future items, anything we have to discuss tonight that's new or old or sideways? We had this, we've added this for anything? I'm looking for anybody? Bonnie?
Meeting again, because there was talk yesterday, I believe it was, we've had so many budget meetings, but I think it was yesterday, that we have another week to move things around in the budget, and I want to see.
My proposal was to meet every night for the next 14 days.
All right.
I was gonna get some
I have
feedback
a
on
very
that.
short commute, so that's doable.
What's wrong with me? We could just email you the information and get your feedback.
I think the consensus was that we're gonna meet soon, but we were gonna take a breath, step away from this for a day or two. So my proposal would be that we'll find out what's good for everybody involved, staff, administration, and the board members, and we'll come up with a day. I don't wanna say a few days, but like,
Jeff,
Beginning next week.
when is the deadline that we have to move some of the items around?
April 30th, I believe.
Okay, so that
About a week
is
and a half from
a
now.
week and a half from now, so we should be meeting before then.
So next week is tricky for me personally because I have Monday night and Tuesday night. We have a policy meeting on Tuesday night, and then I have OXPA on Monday night. So just to give you the heads up.
I would be flexible on the policy meeting, just,
What's wrong with you?
have to take precedence, because I'm not sure, there aren't that many, if we want to take a couple days off with the deadline looming, I mean to say.
That's fine.
Like,
That's fine.
yeah.
So, but let's step away from a day and we'll talk in a day or two about what, but theoretically next Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday or something.
Well, and also, Jeff, we're waiting for some answers, I believe, right? So can you just keep us informed? Because there's no need to meet prematurely if we're still waiting for information, but as soon as we get that information, then we can.
Right. Short break we're going to take by not meeting tomorrow and the next day. We should use that time to make sure whatever staff and administrators think questions haven't been answered, we should be double checking that all our questions have answered. If we have new questions, we should get those out promptly to give them time to respond. But yes, that's what the break is. Without all joking aside, that's what the break is really for, to catch up, to see what unanswered questions there are and what new questions we may have.
Well, is any information available from what we did talk about last night, or are we basically nothing yet?
Today's presentation and the tax report card was.
Okay, I'm just
good
asking
job,
Jeff
buddy.
then. So is there anything else left over from last night that you have follow-up to discuss, or are we just?
That you're ready to discuss tonight.
I have some things, but I'm not ready to discuss them tonight.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
got some new things I'm working on.
Any other items to discuss? Does anybody have any reason to enter into executive session?
Not if we're gonna meet next week.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
We may want
Yep.
to consider leaving 2 days open next week in case we can't come to a conclusion on
Right, so
Monday.
everyone should try to keep Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday till we pick.
It'll work one of those days, Gary, trust me.
I'm just saying, I mean, we've gone through this multiple days and I don't think we've come to a complete conclusion, and I
Agreed.
think if we only have one day, then it's gonna be very tight.
But let's make sure we have all the questions answered, so we come into that next meeting, whenever it is, with hitting the ground running.
I'm not recommending having two, I'm just saying we
Yeah.
need to keep that as an option.
Any other motions?
Okay, no.
Yes, you have a motion?
Oh,
A motion to adjourn?
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. The record, I think, for people watching, we're gonna have to meet Monday or Tuesday.